Hello and welcome back here to the DreamHack Pro Circuit, once again live from Leipzig, Germany, where we just got done witnessing a great showing out from Savage up against our reigning world champions Cloud9, where they found themselves a confident 3-0 victory. Guys, this was a very impressive showing, and honestly, for me, it was just one of those, how is this even happening? Like, level of skill.
It was crazy. Like, it's a big upset, but it's more about how they did it. The 3-0 where Cloud9 scored one goal, and it was basically on a mistake by Alpha trying to dribble in front of his net. That was the only opportunity Cloud9 had the entire series.
Yeah, and they earned their way into day number 3 with 3-0s since their loss to Rogue. Like, those guys have been on an absolute tear.
And that's what's insane about it, is they looked terrible versus Rogue, and now they're going into day 3 as the #1 seed, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, but boy, before we worry about day number 3 and all the things going on tomorrow, we got to figure out all the action here today, and we can encompass that taking a glance at our groups. What has happened here so far? As you can see, we have not gotten our way into Group B. We are just out of range to get to that. We're still concluding here into Group A. And so far, other than that surprise, anything else of note here?
Of course, Tainted Minds, kind of a rough road for them, where they had to take on Cloud9 and then they had to take on Flipside, two of the most recent winners. They had to take the Savage route, but on the other side, and they go 0-2 and they are out. So the OCE team is done. And that was a tough road for them because they had 3 losses in the tournament, maybe the 3 best teams we thought coming in. Yeah, so Tainted Minds is out, and we'll see later. We might get a Cloud9 versus a Complexity. And, like, Cloud9 is alive, but they're not going to have that benefit of that #1 seed anymore.
Yeah, for sure. And Complexity, definitely some things to pick up from their series earlier from PSG as well. And also, PSG, I believe, is that where we're headed to?
Yeah, that is, in fact, exactly where we're headed to. It is going to be PSG taking on a Team Dignitas here. And you can just go ahead here. Cheese, what do you have to say there?
I was not the biggest fan of the series of PSG versus Complexity. I was irate.
Angry.
I was
about
irate.
This series.
You were pretty livid, actually, yeah.
It's just like, I watched it, and I didn't feel like we started seeing solid Rocket League until the first minute of Game 5. And it was PSG. We asked Ferris, like, yo, did you get what you wanted out of Complexity? He's like, nah, it was a lot easier than we thought it was going to be. And it was like PSG got let off the hook so many times that it was able to allow them time to regroup, get the boost, get back up in position to challenge, and they capitalized and won the series off that. So you better come out and play this entire series from Dignitas, like the first minute game, number 5, and then I'll believe you.
Achieves is scary, man.
You're not wrong. You know, I feel like I'm slowly getting to see the dark side of Achieves here.
I'm like the Simon Cowell of Rocket League. I am hard to impress.
Never hire Achieves as your coach, because your players will just be depressed all the time. Simple as that.
All right, here, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at the PSG. I almost don't want Achieves to, because at this point, if we give him the opportunity to just throw a Simon Cowell opinion out at everybody, let's just say it gets dour real quick here.
But PSG, they did win, but they definitely have to bounce back. It's very similar to that Savage Rogue, where Rogue won. It was not convincing, then they got smacked by Cloud9. So now they got to turn it up. We saw Fruity relatively quiet throughout the series. Like, all the offense came from fluky goals for the most part from Chaussette. We need to get some offense created from Fruity to set up Ferrer for some goals.
But at the same time, we did get to see the solid defense that we always expect out of Chaussette at this point. That's the one half of him you always get to see. And while he did put in a couple of decent goals in the previous one, you still need to see that part of Chaussette that'll make you believe, yes, he's a great player that we all know he is.
But look at that boy, man. Look at him. He just looks great. Chaussette, I love that man. And he had a good series, very good defensively. And again, like, if he plays...
He's good, and you never get to see it.
Just get Fruity to play some offense, and this team can easily win this series. We just need all the parts clicking at the same time.
One thing I really like when watching PSG over that last series had to have been Ferrer. I was pleasantly surprised with how much he was involved there onto the offense, but wasting no time here. We're going to transfer over to the other side here. Team Dignitas, the big bad boss here for PSG.
And they look scary, I have to say. Triple Trouble looked amazing games 1 and 2, and then Dignitas found their form in games 3, 4, and 5. And even Turbo, he was just laughing at Violent Panda for an own goal in game number 3 where they were down 2-0. Normally, Turbo gets really upset and gets really angry, and that kind of brings down the team just a bit. They're having fun here, and that is scary.
It's powerful. It's powerful because, you know, we talked about it all the time when you're those world-dominating teams. You always have the target on your back. This is probably the first time that we really see Dignitas without that you better crush everybody or nobody believes you anymore. And it's quite an interesting thing to see that team make that turnaround.
And we see Yukio here, so much pressure on him, but game 5 puts in an incredible shot that even K-Dop would not have scored. And there's a lot of pressure to fill those shoes, but he's slowly starting to fill it.
When the narrative of kind of Team Dignitas going into season 6 Worlds came up. It was really a lot of it was like, if they haven't lost, what does that look like when they lose and everything alike? And I think that expression you got from TurboPolsa shows the difference between that iteration and this one. It's like, you know, you can stumble and it's okay. We are playing Rocket League as a unit.
Exactly.
And it was so nice to be able to see that from
And
them.
we didn't have to replace a desk, so but that is always good. Turbo didn't break any desks so far. We'll see if that happens today, but it looks like they're having fun. And they know it's growing pains. Like, they know with Yukio, they're trying to not put as much pressure on him because there is so much outside pressure.
It's insane. Like, the crazy thing about Dignitas, when you have to replace somebody like K-Dop, who you can always depend on to put the ball into the back of the net, and you keep throwing those passes Yukio's way, that's like, hey, K-Dop could do this all the time. The crazy thing is, like, the community, Reddit, all the analysts are going to be like, Yukio, K-Dop would have scored that. And it's just like his head straight up on the chopping block because we all believe in Violent Panda and TurboPolsa so much, and Yukio definitely has a tough road. And he's handled it wonderfully.
Like, it didn't help that once he leaves Flipside, then Flipside wins.
Yeah, right?
So then Yukio's like, come on, guys. It didn't even help me here.
You are right. In that situation, it definitely made it a bit more grim. Guys, we're going to go ahead and now formally give out the predictions here. Either one of you here at this point.
I'm going to go. Violent Panda was very mad at me because I picked against them yesterday. I'm sorry, Violent Panda. I am going to pick Dignitas this time around. Dignitas looked like the best team on day one, I thought, because Triple Trouble looked so good and then they countered them. I felt like games 3, 4, and 5 were all completely different, but Dignitas found ways to win in all 3 of those situations. I'm going to give it to Dignitas. They look like maybe one of the stronger teams going into tomorrow, outside of maybe Savage.
Maybe one of the stronger teams. It's really tough because PSG, you still haven't convinced me. I cannot pick you yet. Dignitas.
I really want to be that guy because last time it came down to this, the expected team, and then I could have gone with the secret. You know, I got Savage. I'm going to predict this one. But in reality, no. I got to stick with Team Dignitas here. The maturity they displayed, I think, with TurboPolsa in that moment meant a lot here for me. So I'm looking forward to see what they have in store here, and also that here coming out from PSG. But we are going to go ahead and bring in our commentary crew. I do believe we kind of mixed things up over on that side of things rather recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's James and then this guy over
It's
here.
the-
The forgettable one. What's your name again?
Dorby?
I mean, I forgot. What's yours?
Dorby? That's weird.
Dorby?
Yeah, something like that.
Dorby and James Bond, go ahead and take it away, man.
Thanks, guys. And you know what? Didn't they all pick Cloud9 last series,
Yeah,
too?
and I don't understand Dreadnought's logic. He's like, I was going to go, devil's advocate.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda,
Yeah,
but it's not how the world works.
Fool me once, right?
But now we've got Dignitas, PSG, European powerhouse teams. Fruity, we just saw them recently play. They got a W, looking good. So can they do it here? Can they get into tomorrow, day 3?
Yeah, I mean, like Achieve said, there was a lot of moments in the Complexity series with PSG where you felt like they could have probably played a little bit better, but at the same time, you were taking what Complexity was giving you in that series, and PSG played to that advantage. And I walked past PSG on my way over to the casting booth and just saw Fruity's face, and he's just focused, just ready to get into this game. So these guys are ready to go against Dignitas. They know what's at stake here at this matchup, and with this matchup. And on the other side for Dignitas, I mean, Turbo, Violent Panda, these guys have been here before. We talk a lot about Yukio, but you expect Violent Panda and Turbo to help Yukio out and lighten the load a little bit, but Yukio has popped off. Maybe he continues that trend, and game number 1 gonna get right underway. It starts off with Fruity, and in that series against Complexity, James, Dignitas aren't going to do what Complexity did, which is pull off the ball a lot, give PSG a lot of space. That shot just going by the wayside. And so PSG going to have to fight Dignitas for every inch of pitch.
Absolutely. Dignitas, they proved their mental fortitude yesterday when they were on the ropes versus Triple Trouble. They got the win there. But PSG is also a team that has experienced quite a bit of devastation and, like even at the World Championship, coming so close and then losing in a Game 5 and bouncing back in their next performances. I love the mentality that PSG has. They don't give up.
Dignitas right in front of the box. Challenge there by Chaussette. PSG able to get out of harm's way there. It looked deadly in front of the box there for a second, but nobody from Dig was immediately available to pick that one up earlier. So PSG wrap around again. Here's Fruity off the backboard, just missing that second touch, giving way for Farah, but a really light touch. Turbo has an easy clear.
And I like the play from Fruity there, staying on that ball, had the threat of that double tap pass. That was a good opportunity for PSG as they continue to assault Dignitas.
Off that corner, just missing. Farah gonna pick this up for PSG. Blocked again by Violent Panda in midfield. Fruity end up dumping out to Yukio, trying to battle for possession in the midfield. Fruity, again, only hitting it right back.
Oh, and that great touch there from Chaussette completely kills the momentum of the ball, but Yukio right on top of him to keep this Dignitas attack going.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure with Dignitas right now. You see they're completely controlling the midfield boost.
Oh, yeah.
Yukio with a nice touch right there as well. And right now, PSG just kind of scrambling a little bit on defense.
Yeah.
Chaussette patient, but other than that, it's just Violent Panda here. That shot just wide. Turbo waiting for Fruity, but nothing there.
Yeah, and good boost steal from Yukio in the corner to keep that attack going. But now counterattack opportunity for PSG shut down from Panda. And now chance for Dignitas on the other side.
Yukio immediately challenged by Farah as well. Turbo back to Yukio. He's got an option there, but not a lot of boost to work with. Tough to try to get that touch right down to Violent Panda. A nice bump, but getting right back to it is Farah.
I love that play from Violent Panda, just boosting in the way of the defender who was going to try to go for that ball. Panda just shut him down. That allows him, it made the defender waste a lot of boost. PSG again scrambling to get things under control.
And even when they do get that semblance of control, the ball just gets away from them a little bit. They have to find a way to control that shot. Blocked by Chaussette, the defensive mastermind that he is.
And that was some very good positioning. Now on the other side of the ball, another chance for Fruity to follow up. And Yukio was in net, but he couldn't make the save.
And Fruity picks this up. Just a nice touch from Chaussette there, forcing TurboPolsa up. He can't get that clear. That's a tough clear for Turbo. Violent Panda could not get there for the follow-up in time. Great by PSG to take advantage.
Fantastic counterattacking opportunity. I loved what Violent Panda was doing for Dignitas. He just launched the ball in there, had full boost, was waiting for them to hit it right back to him, and it was a good chance for Dignitas. But PSG, they just had that great counterattack and were able to get on the board first.
And this is exactly what you wanted to see from PSG. Never mind, Violent Panda, quick tie in the game.
And Dignitas passing plays, they're a thing of beauty. Look at Turbo coming around. He didn't even have to jump, just put that so quickly right in front of Violent Panda. The passing plays coming out from Dignitas, and now we're all tied up.
PSG caught in a hard place on that play too. Backwards, trying to make a save like that, while Violent Panda has every centimeter of that net available to him. Not gonna be good. Yukio back over to Violent Panda, but when PSG scored that first goal, that is what you wanted to see from them. You wanted to see them match Dignitas in speed and get the first goal to set the pace. And they did so, even with the amount of pressure that Dignitas were putting on. And you even see right here, PSG just struggling to get to the orange half of the field for more than a couple of seconds.
Yeah, you've seen it a lot of teams in the past, and even Ghost comes to mind, a team that will just sit back, defend their net. They'll give a team space to work on their defense, but Ghost, they can hold strong and get you on the counterattack. PSG did the exact same thing early in this game.
Less than a minute left here for PSG and Dignitas. It was scoreless for over half of the game. All the defense in the world is great. Doesn't mean anything unless you can generate an opportunity. Here's Chaussette. A good challenge by Yukio to kill the ball. Turbo dumping this one off, just going to let PSG dump it right back to him.
We'll see how Turbo plays that in the corner. Does get it by Fruity. And tapping it just to the side.
Oh, Chaussette just missing that touch. He gets that. Maybe generates an opportunity for Farah. Ready for that next touch. Right to Fruity.
Oh, and that was open there.
Fruity got one chance here. Chance here down to Farah. It's blocked by TurboPolsa. Or Violent Panda, excuse me.
And now a counterattack chance. Yukio in shooting position.
Out in there, Turbo around the corner. Back over to Violent Panda. The demo opens the net with 3 seconds left. Dignitas up on the board.
Dignitas, they've had so much pressure this game, and Turbo getting a little bit fortunate there on the bounce, but then he goes through and demos the goalkeeper. That was all Panda needed. And 3 seconds left. PSG need a kickoff goal to force this one into overtime.
They may have an opportunity Farah trying to keep control of the ball, kills it.
And that was, that's exactly the kind of kickoff that you want in the final seconds. Farah just did not have great execution with the ball rolling up on the wall. I mean, it was an opportunity for him to maybe go for a flip reset or at least keep the ball alive and in the air for someone from PSG to come in and make the play, but he just didn't make it happen. PSG, they were on their back foot most of that game. Dignitas, great offensive power. We saw the counterattacking capabilities from PSG, but Dignitas overall looking very polished.
Yeah, one of the goals Dignitas scored here was that quick out pass onto in the middle of the field for Violent Panda, where PSG were caught looking the other way, and it was a tough save to be able to make, but that infield pass is...
Oh, this pass right here.
The difference right there. That is the difference between PSG and Dignitas in game number 1. Is that PSG, well, yes, they were able to throw mostly everything away, and the demo as well. Dignitas, that's what they've always been able to do, is generate opportunities after just mounting so much pressure.
I mean, that's just the way Rocket League works, right? You know, you keep battering that defense. Eventually, they're going to run out of boost. It becomes easier to score on them. But Dignitas, you know, this was a very close game. PSG kept it close, very solid defensive plays for the most part. And then we saw how quickly they can score on the counterattack. So this one wasn't by any means a blowout. PSG keeping it close. Can Dignitas keep it going and make more of those passing plays that we saw from Turbo over to Panda in the midfield?
PSG, maybe just try to find some way to break out of midfield. Sometimes it just comes down to winning that one challenge in your own third or on your own back wall that forces the other team back. To give you one midfield boost can be all the difference in a transition turning into a goal. Chaussette, he's by 1.
Just him and Turbo.
And back over to Farah. Shots in. 1 for PSG.
And this was just a great 50-50 here from Chaussette. He knew he only had one defender in play, and that jump, that positioning, he was trying to feed that ball into the middle to Farah, and it worked out perfectly. A great numbers advantage for PSG. They execute, and they get the goal.
They score first again. Off the kickoff. Violent Panda. For an opening in the corner, but Yukio tries to play at center. Ended up giving away for Chaussette there.
Yeah, I don't think anyone from Dignitas was in the middle in a spot where they could even receive a pass from Yukio, so he just tried to test the defense and maybe force a rebound opportunity out for one of his teammates.
Here's a chance for Dignitas here, just off the back wall. Fruity gonna pick this up for PSG. Actually lost it, Yukio, quickly there. PSG just trying to keep this. They'll play the corner all day on the defense, force Dignitas to have to play in the center of the field to score a goal. Shaw had another challenge in the third, but plenty of time for Panda to at least make a challenge onto the ball.
No boost for Fruity, just waiting for boost, and it respawns as he leaves.
That's the worst feels bad. The worst one.
I mean, boost is life in Rocket League.
It's the only resource available to you. Good pass from Yukio, immediately blocked by Farah. And Fruity with a demo, and a crucial demo is Chaussette wasn't able to find the hit off of his own backboard.
Chaussette just getting full boost, using up every ounce there. This is very dangerous for PSG.
Now Yukio, probably not the best touch he wanted there.
But he also got the boost steal in the corner as well, so it's a struggle for PSG. Fruity has nothing in the tank, and he's able to still be threatening.
Chaussette gonna go for this himself, just high off the backboard. Keeping it away from Dignitas, but Violent Panda now picking it up. Turbo on the wing. Turbo picks this one up. Dignitas slowly creeping their way forward. Yukio also with a challenge in midfield, but Farah picking that one up. And PSG, a bit of trouble there, but Farah trying to get that pass from Fruity. Fruity coming straight back to it. Now Dignitas starting to put on the pressure. Another demo in the back end from Fruity, but still time for TurboPolsa to take a shot just off the crossbar. Violent Panda can't get there. Yukio comes to follow up as well. And even with that demo, the pressure still continues for Dignitas.
I mean, this is what we saw in game 1. Dignitas just keeping that possession, keeping that pressure. Even now, Farah having to come out to make this save. All these corner boosts getting snagged by Dignitas as well. PSG slowly just suffering on defense, but we're still just a 1-goal game. PSG can get this game equalized with a good attack.
Fruity almost got back to that ball. Just missing it. Turbo and Yukio both trying to go laterally here and get the ball cleared out. PSG trying to cover the angles. Now up for
Love that
Farah.
pass.
Off the backboard, double commit by Dignitas as well. PSG, sustained opportunity here. Can they find an opening? Not yet here. Violent Panda able to clear it out again.
And now
Demo.
Chance on another pass
There's
out
there.
the middle.
2-0 for PSG. The minute 38 left to go, and they're looking good.
It's crazy how much PSG is able to do with nothing. Again, no boost on that play. Farah just waiting in the middle. Chaussette somehow feeds that ball out to him. And PSG now 2 goals ahead of Dignitas.
Now Farah trying to play that one away. Turbo. And testing this PSG defense, forcing them high up. PSG still able to make the challenge. Move to midfield. Rudy. Able to pop it just off the post. Turbo had that read all day. Chaussette, a light little dump that Yukio was able to clear. About a minute left. PSG hanging on to this 2-goal lead, feels pretty comfortably right now. Dignitas haven't been able to really have any kind of sustained offense so far in the really all 4 minutes of game 2.
I mean, I feel like Dignitas has had good offense, but they just haven't been able to convert when it matters. They keep this pressure up, but this PSG defense just holding strong.
Farah end up giving way for Yukio. Back up, the shot is saved.
Point being right
Chaussette.
there. Again, more pressure from Dignitas, a solid shot, but Chaussette makes the save, and then quickly on the counterattack, Fruity putting one in. PSG now 3 goals ahead. Their defense leading them to this victory, and just a great counterattack. 50-50 win for Fruity. A hard backboard read, puts it into the net. That's a tough shot to make, but PSG just continuing to make it happen.
Now Dignitas probably looking forward to game number 3 at this point as PSG. You say Dignitas haven't been able to convert. It's just the exact opposite story for PSG. They've converted on what it feels like almost every chance that they've had. And it's exactly the bounce back you want to see from this PSG squad. You want to see them be able to transition. All those great saves, and Farah picking up another goal. Why not?
I mean, you can't let the backboard bounce come into play there. You see Yukio just a little too slow to the ball, bouncing right out into the middle. And Turbo, he's sitting in net waiting for a shot, but Farah just blasts it into the upper corner. You can't really block that. Now PSG 4-0. They're stomping Dignitas in game 2.
Time winding down. Dignitas may pick up a goal here, but as far as the result is concerned, it won't matter. That shot wide anyway. Keeping the ball up. Chaussette kills it. PSG, time to see who's up.
And I love what I saw out of PSG this game. Firm defense, just preventing those goals from going in net. We saw Chaussette with a really big save there in the final play of the game, and then Fruity was able to take the ball downfield and score. Farah with a hat trick of his own, knocking it in off that backboard hit. PSG, they're just looking very solid in game 2. A good response now, tying up the series.
Yeah, and this first goal here by Chaussette just wins that challenge, slapping it against the back wall. I mean, like you said it during when that play had happened, making a lot out of a little, and then that went off the transition for Fruity from the save from Chaussette. And I mean, for Dignitas, they only generated 3 shots on net all of game number 2, compared to 5 for PSG. And it really just felt like PSG, on the transitions, they were able to finally find more space in the orange half of the field, which is what they weren't able to do.
Yeah, I mean, shots were about equal in this game, just one more in favor of PSG, but PSG managed to score 4 goals. So
I was looking at the...
I think you were looking at the saves there, Jorby.
Oh, man.
So that's all right, yeah. 8 shots to 9. 8 shots to 9 in favor of PSG. But Dignitas, you know, they just got to find the back of the net. Chaussette, though, he's making it really difficult for him. We need more of those passing plays that we saw in game 1. Turbo finding Violent Panda in the midfield, having a lot of the net to shoot on. Those are the high percentage shots that you want if you're Dignitas. Just like how Farah had that opportunity off the backboard. He had the entire net to shoot on. Dignitas needs some opportunities like that, and they need to put them away. But PSG just playing solid defense.
So Violent Panda back over to Turbo, challenged by Chaussette. Was able to find one touch there, but Fruity able to just boom it downfield. And Turbo now.
And you saw Panda pre-jump that. And so, no!
Yukio! What a shot, 1-0.
Look at the double taps. Yukio, he is familiar with this play. Jumping up, one tap, getting the second, and just launching it right into the net. Yukio, so nasty.
So Dignitas, this is the first time in this series they score first. The first 26 seconds of gameplay.
Talk about converting on opportunities. Yukio doing just that. That was a beautiful shot.
PSG has always been that team. Oh, that shot is on, saved by Violent Panda. Farah keeping the play alive here for PSG. Fruity now looking for Chaussette. Chaussette, he's gonna find it. Challenge going his way. Fruity lost to Violent Panda, but there's Farah. He sneaks it into the corner, and PSG tie the game.
Yeah, Farah picking up right where he left off. Panda trying to get a hit there. He just ended up passing it out into the middle. It looked like he was trying to go for a dribble play, but Farah, he was in the midfield, able to capitalize on that miss hit by Panda. Just keeping the ball low, finding the corners. That's what you got to do.
So, Fruity back over to Farah. Farah works his way past the corner in front of the box. Chaussette waiting for that touch. But Dignitas able to clear it away. Oh, absolute banger of a boomer from Chaussette there. And PSG, they've had a couple of those boomers that have just allowed them to transition time and again.
Yeah. The Fruity goal comes to mind where Fruity was able to just get another dunk and there was nobody left in net able to take advantage of that. And now Fruity off the backboard going for a double himself, but Panda was in the way.
The PSG are beating Dignitas to some of these double touches on the backboard. A couple of them, but Dignitas have been able to make a touch. They got to be careful, though. They have to be sure they're the first to that ball on the backboard. Otherwise, you have another backboard shot going into your net.
But two back-to-back great challenges from Yukio there to get this ball down. And now Panda with a ceiling opportunity. Pass out into the middle for Turbo, but shut down from Farah.
Oh, and hit up high now off the backboard. Challenged again by Farah. Turbo shot just wide. Dignitas.
No boost for Fruity. This is going to be a tough play for him as he goes for the 50. A good challenge there and getting a second hit, but Turbo eventually powering through. He sees Yukio, but Yukio not able to get the shot. The right idea from Dignitas.
And Turbo still able to play the ball away from PSG. Ball Violent Panda enough time to get back and play that ball right back in. Half the game gone. Dignitas have half a good sequence here in the offensive half. This is a good chance generated off the backboard. Turbo has a shot on net. He can't make it. It's no good. Chaussette tries to clear it away. Violent Panda tries to put it towards. He can't either. So PSG, you feel like they got away with it.
This has been the MO for Dignitas in game 2 and now game 3, where they have such good pressure, have an opportunity, and just can't put it away. The only goal that they've scored this game was that insane double tap from Yukio. We need to see everyone from Dignitas stepping up and putting these chances away. We're not seeing it.
Yukio only finds Chaussette there. PSG have flipped the table here on the orange half. Farah. Time to figure out what to do here. Just goes for the win on Turbo. He gets it. A touch on the back wall. He gets that as well. Chaussette. Oh, what a touch to move it downfield for Dignitas, but a good clear as well. Yukio. Off that transition. Checked it down. Yukio gets credit for the goal, but Dignitas up.
I mean, it's so difficult as a defender. You see Turbo going up for it. You give him the respect. You expect that he's going to hit it. Farah, it looked like he might have even gotten a piece of that one, but it's so difficult to know where to go in the net when you have a player who can get a piece of the ball. You just have to guess. And right there, Turbo didn't make contact. Defense didn't guess right. And Dignitas take the lead.
Violent Panda using everything just to keep that ball in front. Double commit by PSG, and a good touch by Yukio to set it up for Violent Panda. Chaussette tries to get in the way. Fruity tries to make a touch for the save. Off the post, gets a comeback, can't do it. Yukio gets the goal again. Dignitas up.
And that's a hat trick now for Yukio. Look at this hustle from Fruity, managing to keep that ball out, but it hits off the post, goes back into the middle, and Yukio, he will not miss that shot. That's his third of the game.
and 2 of them unassisted. So Yukio just stepping up big time.
That touch just off the backboard here for PSG. They have to score quickly, and it's an open net for Dignitas, and the wheels have fallen off in game number 3 for PSG.
It's turning into a slugfest. We saw 4 goals put in by PSG last game. Now 4 goals by Dignitas, going back and forth. This one quickly after the kickoff. This game, slowly getting out of hand in favor of Dignitas.
And that touch that gave it to him, you feel like that's just PSG. They know they're down 2. They know they have to generate pressure, so they'll find any touch that they can get in the attacking third.
You definitely get a little more reckless in those moments where you absolutely have to score. But Yukio almost getting another highlight reel shot.
Dignitas controlling their own half. PSG looking for a pick-me-up goal and trying not to let Dignitas score again, but failing at it. Violent Panda picking up one for Dig.
Yeah, this one's, I'm scratching my head a little bit. It definitely looked savable. Chassette going for a little too much air roll, knocking it into his own net, but at this point, it doesn't really matter too much. The game's already lost, but still, it doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't feel good at all. PSG, again, the sequences they've had in this game, they've been good, but feels like, Dig weren't able to convert on opportunities in game number 2. PSG, that's all it's really been for them. They haven't been able to convert on chances like this that they're trying to generate off the backboard, and well defended by Dignitas as well. Here at the end of game number 3, Dignitas looking like the strong team we expect at the end here as we head to game 4.
Dignitas, we saw their mental fortitude yesterday in the reverse sweep over Triple Trouble. So these guys, they know how to keep that positive mentality, and they had good pressure even in the last game that they lost. This time, though, they were able to make it happen. A big part of that goes to Yukio. Yukio, the player who they had come in and replace K-Dop, such huge shoes to fill, but Yukio filling them at least in this game 3. Some big plays from him, especially thinking back to that double tap. That double tap was insane by Yukio.
Absolutely, and this right here, that fake just completely sent PSG out of whack, giving Yukio credit for that goal. And then right here, Fruity, he made a great attempt at the save there, just couldn't get the second touch to make another save. Yukio just taking advantage off the rebound.
Yeah, and then, that quick goal off the kickoff. 4 goals to 1. Now 5 total for Dignitas in this game. Dignitas stepping up to the plate. Yukio playing solid. This is what you want to see if you're Dignitas. But also, we saw a couple misses by Turbo. One, it ended up leading to a goal, but another opportunity, he just failed to make solid contact with the shot. So keep your eye on Turbo, maybe see if he starts getting into his rhythm, because if Yukio and Violent Panda or Turbo start to heat up at the same time, it could be extremely deadly.
It's funny about Yukio. Just a lot of people have said when this move happened, it's like they probably won't be great right away, but you feel like Yukio had so much upside and he could deliver so much to this Dignitas squad. You always want to talk about the loss of K-Dop, but the slow uptake of Dignitas with Yukio on this roster, he's showcasing
a big miss
in this series, but Chassette scoring here first for PSG.
Yeah, this was a big miss right here. Chassette hitting it downfield, and it looked like, Panda actually got a piece of it, making it even more difficult for Turbo to read, but Turbo had to get a touch on that ball. When he failed to do it, it bounces out into the midfield, and it's an easy shot for Chassette.
Playing it back towards midfield, Yukio trying to keep it going there. Turbo just forcing the touch forward into the corner. Violent Panda on the challenge as well. They keep looking for that corner. It's probably an ill-advised double commit, but they have a little bit of time to get back, and Chassette gonna pick up the pieces here. Turbo can't get past Farah. Dignitas gonna try to get out of the orange half again here with Yukio. Carries it the whole way. Moving down the other end of the pitch, Violent Panda. Now off the corner. Turbo looking for it, but Fruity had it the whole way.
Good speed from Fruity there, getting that second challenge. Now Panda finding Yukio on the pass, but Farah able to cut it off. Panda needed to get that a little closer to Yukio.
Good challenge by Fruity in midfield here to see if he can get it back out. Turbo playing him closely, knowing that he wanted to go back out mid. Still Dignitas working their way to PSG territory. Fair on the wing for Fruity. The shot's on, saved. Double commit by Dignitas. Ball hang time forever. Chaussette with one touch straight down. Another touch.
Not out of it.
Chaussette, can he find it?
Chaussette.
Roll it in, he can't. Yukio flies in for the save.
And that play was all started by a beautiful pass over to Farah. Farah needed to do more with that shot. He put it right in the center of the net, an easily blockable position. Chaussette so close to getting the rebound goal, but PSG, that was an opportunity that they would like back. They could have had the 2-goal lead. That would have been pretty devastating early in the game.
Oh, Fruity thought he was going to be able to get up. First he gets the bump, and then he almost is able to get up and get the ball in the net as well. Probably didn't have enough boost to do it, but still PSG. This is how you want to see them bounce back after a shellacking from Dignitas in the previous game.
They definitely traded blows. They won that. And look at this, another one. This time Yukio yet again tying it up for Dignitas. Chaussette went for the clear, and a great challenge by Panda. Panda actually going for it as well. He might have even pulled shot Yukio a little bit into that shot to get extra power. So they had 2 players go for it. Yukio getting credit for that one, but it was the dunk from Panda that started it off.
More goals than Yukio scores just feels like the more confident he gets on the pitch. Why he goes for that, he's like, yeah, Panda's up, but I'm totally faster. I can totally get up to this before him. PSG, Fruity shot just wide. And Turbo, looking for Panda. Yukio gonna pick this one up. Now he's got Panda there. And off the ceiling, played away by Farah.
Well, now Chaussette getting by a defender as well. It was a one-on-one situation briefly. Could be a chance for PSG brewing. Not with a tap like that, just giving up possession.
Really good touch from Chaussette against his own backboard. Have to get it out towards midfield. The only man back for PSG on that particular play. Turbo, another miss from Turbo. Yukio can't clear it out. Chaussette's there for the challenge. Fruity just trying to harass the Dignitas defense. Farah there as well. Pops it over, saved by Yukio.
And that is a good attack from PSG. We've seen Farah struggle with placement a little bit. Even there, he might have been able to get the ball a little more to the left side of the net, where it would have been much more challenging for Dignitas to make the save. But still, the pressure coming out from PSG might be able to convert if they can keep this up.
Fruity did what he could. Chaussette able to pick that ball right back up. Still a free look is Yukio. And Farah picks it out to the corner. It looked like Chaussette gave way for Farah. Chaussette hits it to the opposite side. 2 Dignitas attackers were ready for it. And that shot on target. It goes in for Turbo. Dignitas with the lead.
Dignitas, they're looking to make it to day 3, and Turbo stepping up unassisted, passing to himself, and Chaussette racing towards it, couldn't make the save, and Turbo getting Dignitas the lead in the final minute.
And that's got to feel good for Turbo, especially with a couple of the misses that he's had in this series, to be able to bang one in the net to give your team the lead in a match point game.
And this is to make it to day 3.
Yukio having to hop up to make a save himself. PSG. Dignitas aren't out of the woods yet here. PSG have put together some pretty good pressure. What takes his one solid pass could be the difference. Less than 30 seconds to go for them to do it. That shot's in for Farah. He picks right in front of the box. Tied up for PSG.
I have been critical of Farah's placement. Not this time. Reading the bounce off the wall, and just a powerful shot up into the corner. Farah tying it up for PSG.
Not a lot of time left, so we may be headed to overtime, but crazy things have happened today, James, so I have no doubt that we're in store for more.
We saw Complexity get that 0-second goal-winning goal, or game-winning goal.
Can absolutely happen again off the backboard. Yukio plays it past one, playing the bully, trying to force it in, saved by Fruity. He keeps PSG alive, clears the ball. We may have overtime, we do.
And that was a key play from Fruity on defense that could have been disastrous, but he kept his cool and was able to force this overtime. Now a chance if he can get around it.
Fruity off the post! Oh my to get this clear, but Turbo with the save. Dignitas keep themselves alive in game 4.
A close call off the post. Ball out in the middle now. Chance for Fruity. Dignitas now able to stabilize Turbo in a 1v1.
Oh,
Fruity.
my goodness. You're killing me, Fruity. You're killing me with these off the corner. Dignitas threatening. A big touch there by Farah to get it out back to the orange half. Chaussette tried to play it under, but Violet Panda was having none of it. Farah up high, back to Fruity, challenged by Turbo. Turbo couldn't get back to it. Chaussette able to go the other way. Still the plays alive for PSG. Fruity here from midfield. Back over to Farah. Farah, can he get another touch? He can. Back to Fruity. And Violet Panda followed him the whole way. Still, PSG will not let up. Finally, a great touch from the third, but still, PSG, Fruity again. He's been at the point of attack for so many of these offensive opportunities for PSG.
Yeah, I mean, he was even well positioned for that Farah pass that was pinched off the backboard. I didn't think Farah could get it out into the middle. Fruity was still ready for it. Fruity playing a key role for PSG in this game.
Fruity picking the pass up from Farah. Violet Panda doing what he can to try to beat Chaussette to that ball. No good. Turbo. At least able to get the touch before he got demoed, but it does open things up for PSG.
Chaussette having to get there quickly. He does win that 50-50 and gets a piece of it, but it didn't really help out his team at all.
Oh, Yukio wins one challenge in the corner. Violet Panda plays to the right side.
Awkward
of
ball
PSG.
for Fruity.
Yeah. Farah able to clear the ball away. PSG, it looked scary there for a second off that first touch. Violet Panda able to make one touch, but still in play for Fruity. He gets the dunk and way wide here for TurboPolsa. Able to make the save. Or not the save, it was never on target. You know what I mean, Jay.
Close enough.
You know what I mean.
Close enough.
Fruity having to back up for this. Yukio wins one challenge. Not able to get up in time for Chaussette. We've played the entire half of Rocket League in this overtime. Not the team cracking just yet.
And this is to make it into day 2 for Dignitas. Just one goal away. They can end it right now.
Fruity, the challenge in midfield will go nowhere. Violet Panda looking for Turbo. Back to Violet Panda, and Farah able to clear it away.
And the pressure continuing to build for Dignitas, but Turbo and Panda both on the retreat. Yukio off the wall. He sees his chance.
Oh my goodness, and he gets the save!
Farah! He kept it out on the goal line. That was as close as you can get without scoring.
So many close opportunities. That was the closest so far in game 4. That shot saved by Chaussette. Chaussette picks this up again, but Yukio's there in midfield. And Farah able to hit this for PSG. Yukio able to find that touch out, man. What an overtime this has been. And that shot past, maybe no, Farah has the block. Fruity trying to get back to it in time. That's not good for him. Violet Panda gets the goal. Dignitas move to day 3 of DreamHack Leipzig.
Oh, that's a rough way to end it. You see, Fruity coming in for a challenge. He actually hit that into his own net. So after the crazy goal line saves from PSG, they had a chance to steal game 4, but couldn't do it. Dignitas hold strong and get the win. And look at the amount of saves Turbo had. 6 saves for him alone. Dignitas stepping up in this game, and it was a fun one to watch. That was
an exciting overtime. I mean, and you got to give so much credit to PSG, especially, you know, and you heard Chiefs talking about it on the desk. He wasn't impressed with PSG against complexity. He felt that they needed to speed up their play. They needed to be able to just play faster. And
the speed was there. It definitely was there. It was just, there was a few things, especially with Farah. I thought his shot execution, his shot placement wasn't always great, but still, he had some good plays, all of PSG contributing. They had solid defense, and they had good pressure versus Dignitas. So it looks like they have all the components for victory, but Dignitas was able to just pull this one out.
Yeah, and then again, for Dignitas, they moved to day 3. Dreadnought, guys, crazy match.
Absolutely was there. Very well done coming out from Team Dignitas. Expected result, maybe not expected games so much so here, boys. Is that fair to say?
That was a battle. That is for sure. And just game 4 overtime alone, it just seemed like these chances for Dignitas were there and just miracle save after miracle save for PSG.
Yeah, the PSG defense on fire. My favorite part, game 2. That is the best I've seen PSG play. If they play like that game every single time, perfect.
It's going to be scary. PSG is going to have to play flip side now, and PSG's looking good.
What I find so ironic is that it really did come down to execution for PSG. Game number 1, at 3 seconds before Dignitas got that counterattack, they had the wide open goal. Dig made a mistake, and they missed. And Farrah was literally talking about it comes down to, in that moment, you got to make the shot, you got to make the save. And then in game number 4, they had a chance to score in the back of the net, and they missed that one too. It's like this could have been a completely different series just off the first game, and it came down to execution for PSG, unfortunately.
Yeah, but those playmaking abilities by Shawset early in the series, that's what I want to see out of Shawset, moving up the field and get that offense creative. But then it turned into a Yukio show a bit. He was getting some quality shots back and forth. Like, I loved what I saw from him. Right here, we see a double tap come out. He had a ton of quality shots throughout this entire series.
Facts.
He did have a bunch of great shots there, but you know who also had a couple of good shots himself? It is going to be TurboPolsa here joining us up at the desk. And I'll be honest here, TurboPolsa, this might be a bold move for me this early on, but it seems like you're having a kind of rough series there. Is that fair to say? A couple of missed balls where maybe you wouldn't expect it?
Those were just fakes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. And I was, that's the new guy in me. You're right. Always going to be a calculated fake. No, but seriously, you know, how did the series come out from your standpoint? Because I think we were all in kind of awe on how competitive it was. But in the end, like you guys always do, you know, clutch it out.
For me personally, the performance wasn't that great. But fortunately for Yukio and Pana, they were stepping up the game. Without them, we probably would have lost. I mean, we did some clutch plays. I did some nice fakes. There were misses, according to someone. But this time I didn't smash a desk or chair, if you want to call it. So it was good for us.
Very well done.
For your favorite moment so far, like, is your favorite moment making it to day 3 or the Violent Panda own goal on day 1? Which one was better?
Probably the own goal. Now that Caleb can't own goal for our team, so someone has to step it up, and Panda is the one to do it.
So that's just great leadership then from Panda.
Yeah, he's doing his job as team captain. But I'm just curious, what were you guys thinking about that game 2 from PSG? Because that was a solid game from PSG. They shut you out. They really shut you down. And what did you guys feel like you needed to do going into games 3 and 4?
Me missing balls was not the great strategy we had.
Yes.
So we started with that. But just to kind of wait out on Fruity, and if we manage to have Farrah in defense, then it will be a good play for us, since he's like the least safe call for them in the defense.
So I have one more question for you. PSG is going to play flip side. After playing PSG, do you think they have a shot versus flip side?
I definitely think they do. It's going to be a tough game for both teams, but I actually think PSG is going to be the winning team from that series.
All right.
Well, thank you very much there for the insight, TurboPolsa, and of course those great fakes throughout the entirety of that last series. I first want to say thank you to each and every one of our sponsors between DreamHack, Monster, Psionics, and esportsmanagement.com. You can go ahead and go check each and every one of those out. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, some more DreamHack Leipzig action.